Hey everybody, welcome back to my vlog, Intellectual Physique. Today I want to talk a little bit about tracking your progress and how important that is to achieving your ultimate goals, but also how to, keep track of your smaller goals or the smaller things you're accomplishing and not always looking to the big picture. This is extremely important for one, motivation. Seeing yourself progress will help motivate you even when maybe the big picture seems way off. It also allows you to understand when you need to step your game up a little bit because you're making it too easy on yourself. And I think this is a very important topic. It should be fairly short, so I hope you enjoy it. Alright, so first I'm going to tell you a little bit about my goal and how I had to change the semantics of my goal and why that's important here. A lot of us, our goal is to lose weight, and I find a problem with that. It's something I used to always say was my goal, and I realized that unfortunately losing weight isn't significant enough to keep me going and keep me motivated, and let me explain. First of all, setting a goal of a weight loss can be kind of a problem because that means you stop there, right? You achieve your goal, you lose 20 pounds or whatever you want to lose, and you get there, that means you can stop, right? Well, that's not the case because we all know that we will fall back into bad habits and gain that weight right back as soon as we lost it, and all that hard work will be for nothing. Another problem with kind of the weight loss goal is, if the scale isn't moving, we feel like we're just losing and we feel like we're failing, and we're more likely to give up when the scale's not moving the direction we want. And so instead of saying I want to lose weight, which had been my goal for a long time, and I would lose a few pounds here and there, I decided this time I needed to kind of change it up. So I decided that my personal goal was to become an athlete. And yes, I'm 31 years old, so no, I'm not going to go out and play professional football. But my goal was to be an athlete in the sense that a 31-year-old can be, have the ability to go out and run a half marathon, for example, or play in recreational sports and feel like I have some skill set there, things like that. And this is important because I wasn't always looking to the weight loss goal. Weight loss was my ultimate big, I want to lose X amount of pounds, but I was always looking at all the small incremental goals because becoming an athlete encompasses so much that these little goals were just as important as the big goal. So that's something I kind of recommend to those who want to lose weight out there is set a goal that's something you can achieve that's not just about weight loss, but encompasses the whole overall effect that working out and running has on you. And if you do that, you will also be more motivated to keep track of that progress each week or each day instead of always looking to the end result and wondering why you're not losing the weight. So I know that's just semantics. It's saying, well, you want to lose weight, you set a weight loss goal, but sometimes just changing the wording a little bit will make you more motivated to do it. But now I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of tracking that progress. So progress tracking is really important, and I think a lot of you can understand why. The big reason is motivation. If you're tracking your progress, you're able to see how you're improving each day, and it makes you feel good about what you're doing. It makes you feel like you're accomplishing what you're setting out to accomplish. When you look at the scale and you see 5 pounds have dropped, you get excited and you go, man, this isn't that bad. I can lose however much I want to lose. The same thing's true about, if you're trying to get into distance running or whatever, is you see yourself run a little further than you did the last time. It makes you feel good and you're progressing. So obviously motivation is a huge factor for why progress tracking is important. But something that I don't hear a lot talked about is the idea that we as humans become comfortable in our routine. And that's something that's not good when it comes to weight loss and working out. We're by human nature, we don't like struggle, we don't like pain, and we don't like to not be as something to be as easy as we hoped it was. So what we do is if we're out of shape and we go run a mile and the mile is really tough to run, and over progress and over time the mile becomes easier, a lot of us don't up that goal. We say, you know what, that mile finally got easy and I'm going to just keep running a mile because I've lost weight or I've gotten better at that mile. I just want to keep running that mile. And I see this a lot in the gym where people will start working out and it'll really make them sore, and the next day and they struggle to work out, and they get to a point where all of a sudden that workout becomes easier and easier, and then instead of switching it up to go back to making it hard again, they get comfortable with it being easy and they feel like it's still working them the same way, but in fact it's not. And we all know this as well. If things get easier, it's because you're not working as hard as you were before. And so that's really important to progress tracking, is if you can see it on paper, you're more likely to go, wait, this has become too easy, I need to step up my game. And that'll just increase the results in the long run, and especially when it's weight loss, is because anyone at some point can go run a mile, but there's a time where that mile stops burning those same calories that it used to burn, because you become in better shape, your cardio becomes better. So it's important to keep that progress tracking so you can step up your game and say, wait, I've ran a mile and it's getting really easy, I need to up it to 2, or I need to run it faster than whatever the speed is, or that kind of thing. So I think that's really important to progress tracking, is to stay motivated while doing it, but also to step up your game when you need to. And the big number 2 for me about progress tracking is it allows you to keep track of smaller goals that you may not normally keep track of. And this is really important, especially if weight loss is your big goal. Because if you know anything about weight loss, we all hit plateaus. There becomes a period in time where you're not losing weight at the same speed that you started losing weight. And so these small little notches that you see of improvement in other areas besides on the scale can keep you motivated when maybe you start feeling rejected because the scale's not moving. I mean, when you can go out and run 2 or 3 miles and you go, man, 6 weeks ago I couldn't even run a mile. You still feel good about that progress, even if the scale's not going the way you want. And another thing we all learn is if you're putting weight training into your weight loss, we gain muscle. So sometimes the scale's not going to go backwards. In fact, sometimes it may even go forward, and that can be really disheartening for someone trying to lose weight. But if you're in the gym and you see yourself lifting more weight and doing more reps of the weight that you used to do, you'll know that this isn't because you're failing at your diet or failing at fitness. It's because you've upped your game, you're getting stronger, you're getting better, and so that scale may not change, but you're seeing those results because you're keeping track of them. And I see so many people that just don't keep track of those things, so they don't really notice. I mean, we go to the gym and we know what we lift and stuff like that, but we never take time to sit down and really analyze, wow, I've gotten stronger, or wow, I've run a better pace than I ran, and things like that. So that's why it's really important to track that progress. Something I recommend to everybody that's getting started is, take a pen and paper in the gym that first time and write down what weights feel comfortable and what you're doing, because it'll allow you later to look back and go, man, I've upped from there, or, I've been able to improve. But same thing with running. I think I've mentioned this before, but the Nike Run app is a really great tool, and it's completely free. And what you can do is it tracks your progress of every run. It saves those runs, so you can always look back on how fast you've run or how long you've run, and keep that progress. And that's something that I really enjoyed seeing, because for a guy who used to hate running and absolutely despise it, seeing those little incremental paces that get a little faster, or seeing myself run a little further than the time before, I've been really able to track that. But more importantly, I've been able to be really excited when my goals change, even when the scale maybe didn't. So I think that's really important to progress tracking, is, as I mentioned before, it motivates you in that, but it also gives you those goals to achieve outside of just the main goal that you're wanting to get to down the road. And so I really think, tracking your progress is extremely important to success, and I hope that you'll start doing that if you haven't done it already. So that's it for today's vlog. Again, I just want to emphasize the importance of tracking your progress to keeping you motivated when things get rough. I focus a lot on motivation because that seems to be where people start to struggle. And we all know those New Year's resolutions go out the window after about February or March, and it's because motivation has gone away and we haven't put the full dedication into what we're doing. And it's these progress, being able to motivate yourself and finding that time to be motivated when sometimes the scale isn't moving. That's the important thing here that'll keep you going. So as always, feel free to follow me on Intellectual Physique on Instagram, or email me at intellectualphysique@gmail.com. I'm open to any questions or comments, and I hope y'all have a good week.